And then when the scene, they lost.
Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. From the Ground Up Productions presents Talk Therapy with Lady Miz. She's here to listen and give advice, but brace yourself. If you can't handle the truth, because she's not sugarcoating a thing. She's getting to the root of the problem and addressing the ugly truth. You're now tuned in to Talk Therapy with Lady Miz.
What's good, people? How y'all doing out there? I know we on BP time. Stop playing with me. But I'm here, right? It's better late than never. Y'all already know what it is. I am your host, Lady Miz. Listen, guys, this is Talk Therapy Tuesdays. Y'all know what it is. I am so happy to be back in business. I really miss coming on and talking to you guys. Again, like I said, I did a quick little promo right before the show telling people that we were going live. And I'm going to have Ray on set with me today. And we're going to be having a conversation because today's topic, I felt like I definitely needed to have a man on board to discuss that so we can have a man to speak for y'all, because I'm going to be coming from a woman's point of view, okay? But before we get into all that, let me just go through the basics with y'all, okay? The basics. I just want to let y'all know that, listen, Talk Therapy is a place where we come and we discuss different topics and things like that. Again, this is something that I feel that is so important because talking is therapy, right? We all need to vent sometimes. We need to get things off our chest. You might need to vent. You might need to call in and say what's on your mind. But we need to discuss certain things. And this is a safe place for us to be able to do that. We're going to talk about different stuff and bring awareness to different situations. But it's also for us to have accountability for our actions and to bring awareness to the mindset that we might have, right? It's so important that we grow into the best versions of ourselves. That's extremely important, more than anything else, because evolving is important. And when we talk, we evolve as long as we're giving good advice, right?
Yeah.
As long as we're giving good advice. And I think that today Ray's going to probably be doing a little more talking than he normally does, because I feel like this. At the end of the day, I think it's important to be transparent. A lot of people, and even today, big shout out to King Charlie Prince, and big shout out to Town Mama Karen over there, Grant Body P over there in the UK. I see you. Big shout out to Al Mosley. Listen, guys, I think that it's then going back to what I was saying when it comes to having a discussion. A lot of people, they say, "Oh, I love you and Ray, Lady Miz and Ray," like, and trust me, I love our marriage and our relationship too, but don't get it twisted. We have issues just like everybody else. We go through things and we struggle with a lot of relationship stuff. And I'm going to put all that really on the table today because I consider myself to be a modern day woman. Okay. I do. I'm bossy as hell. I'm a control freak. Y'all, maybe y'all don't know this about me, and maybe you do.
All women are control freaks.
That's not really true. Some women are very submissive. But see, some of the things, actually, let me pump the brakes real quick, okay? Because I'm jumping right into it. I just want to remind you guys, let's remind people who's not watching and listening that today's topic is the modern day woman mindset hurting relationships? Or are men just not as masculine as they used to be anymore? We're going to talk about that. Okay, you getting offended already and we haven't even started.
Because you're always attacking men's mind.
I'm not attacking men. Guys, women, ladies, gentlemen, please. I mean, come on now. Seriously. But before we do that, we're going to always do what we always do. We got to go to our commercial first. Okay. While we're doing that, we always ask you guys to please share this link and share it, text it to people, and tell us to join in, especially if you know people out there that have relationships and marriages and stuff, because we want to get to the bottom of this, and we're going to tell you how we feel, and we're going to open the phone lines. If y'all want to call up, you guys could call up and tell us how you guys feel. So first, let's get into this commercial, and this commercial is for content creators. Anybody who's a content creator, listen up.
Are you a content creator? Do you make music videos, short films, documentaries, web series, kids shows, movies, stand-up comedy, visual podcast, educational shows, or sports? Are you a fitness instructor or gamer? Do you record church ceremonies or report news? If so, contact From the Ground Up Productions TV by email at fromthegroundupproductions@gmail.com. For more information on getting your content played on our network on Roku, where there are over 85 million viewers and growing. No more being limited or blocked on social media from the content you post and create. Get the freedom to be you without restrictions from controlled social media. And if you want to run your ads or sponsor our network, contact us now at fromthegroundupproductions@gmail.com to get started now.
You're now tuned in to From the Ground Up Productions. And you're listening to Talk Therapy with Lady Miz.
That's right.
Broadcasting around the world.
Yes, we are back, ladies and gentlemen. And it's about to go down. Y'all already know what it is. I'm your host, Lady Miz, and today I have a guest on Talk Therapy Tuesdays. Normally, Talk Therapy is me by myself, but I don't really like to do all the talking by myself. I'm actually going to start to bring more people on the show to have conversations, and I really want to be a support system out there to people, because honestly, even though this is slightly off topic, a lot of people are depressed. A lot of people are committing suicide. We're losing loved ones on a regular basis constantly, and I'm telling you, coping is a it's not really an issue. It's an issue that we have I shouldn't say issue. It's something that we should learn how to do and be in that support system for people. So Talk Therapy, we're here to have a conversation, but today's conversation is on a different level. It's about the mindset of the modern woman, okay? And relationships, and when it comes to relationships and marriages. So we're going to get into that. But before we do, I just want to remind you guys two things. One, we have a compilation that's coming out February 18th, guys. Look out for this compilation. It's called Family Business. And this compilation has several different artists on it, and I'm putting it out. Myself is on there. Soraya Alexis, that's my daughter. And I'm finally going to be managing my daughter. Yes, guys, she finally decided to move forward with music. My daughter is a singer, and she got bars too, but she ain't into the rapping. But I'm going to be managing my daughter, Soraya Alexis. And Ian95 is on there, which is her boyfriend. Big shout out to Mason. Big shout out to Cash on Abel. Big shout out to my stepson, Poppy Fortune, another dope MC, guys. Ray the Silent Assassin got a hot 16 in there. Uncle Jay is on there, and my son Nas. This joint is called Family Business. We got 10 tracks on there, and it is it's so amazing because you're gonna get so many different flavors of music, but it's not really on a hardcore hip-hop tip. It's more like for the grown and sexy laid back type of feel. I love the fact that we were able to come together and do this, and I really think y'all are gonna enjoy it. We got videos that we shooting for this. We got a lot of things in store, so make sure y'all look out for that. And also continue to look out for Hood Court is coming soon with me and Tyler Mix. The reality show, we did not forget about that, making it in the 845. We're actually about to start working on that now and getting that back into action. And don't forget about Boss Move Chips, which will soon be at a store near you. I know y'all like where the chips at. The chips is coming. I got to tell y'all, and let me just be transparent. The chips, I've been pausing because I want to make sure when I get my delivery that I can actually start getting putting them out there, and I'm not sitting here trying to figure out how to get rid of all my chips and sell them, right? So what I'm going to be doing is I'm going to be hitting up all of y'all and selling a pre-order sale where y'all can get like a pack if y'all want to support your girl and place your orders ahead of time. That way I could get things out there, get things in stores and get it moving. So just look out for that. That's going to be coming soon. Are you ready for this conversation, Ray?
Are you ready?
I stay ready, baby. That's why I ain't never got to get ready. Let's get it. Okay. He asked me if I'm ready. Okay. Please. All right, guys. Now listen, let's get into this. Okay. Today topic is today's modern woman affecting relationships, or are men just not as masculine as they used to be?
Before we even get started, Al Mosley, he asked a question.
What's up, Al?
What is your definition of a modern woman, so we could understand that?
Okay, well, I think everybody has a different term, but Al Mosley, my definition of a modern woman is someone who's very strong-headed, someone who is a hard worker, someone who's extremely independent, someone who feels like sometimes it's even to the point where I don't need nobody, I don't need no man, I can handle and do all of this myself. Now, I'm not in that boat when it comes to that. I feel like I do need my husband, but I am still very bossy, and we're going to talk about some things because I listen to, what's his name? Kevin Samuels. Yep. Kevin Samuels guy. He be going in, guys. And I'm not going to front. I believe in some of the things that he talk about. And I actually believe in a lot of things he say towards us women. But at the same time, I think that you guys, I'm gonna tell y'all what I think. Y'all gonna be shocked because it's about to go down, but just let it go down. I'm gonna tell you, don't judge me, but just respect my opinion. I'm gonna respect yours and I'll respect yours, but I'm gonna keep it 100 with y'all. This is how it's going down. Big shout out to Tyler Mix. I see you pulling up on the check-in. That's right. Make sure y'all share this. So let's first.
Big shout out to Shaki.
Shaki in the building. Okay, I didn't see her. Yes.
Yeah, big shout out to Nene.
All right, Nene. All right, I see you. That's what I'm talking about. Today we having this conversation, and listen, ladies and gentlemen, we will open up the phone lines. All y'all got to do is say, Coach, tap me in, put me in, Coach, and we gonna put y'all in, baby. Let's get it. So, all right, let's first start here. Let me ask you a question, Ray. When it comes to, well, first, you know what? Let's be transparent with the people. Everybody thinks that we so perfect, but we got problems like a motherfucker. Okay.
Who doesn't?
Listen, we got problems. Y'all don't know what goes on behind the scenes. But
everybody got problems. If they don't got problems, it's an issue. That's a fact.
That is a whole fact. But listen, I'm one where I think that people, like, sometimes people look up to, let's say, Will and Jada, right? A lot of people look up to Will and Jada, and you see what's going on with them. I still love them as my couple. I don't care what nobody say. But a lot of people look up to them, and then look at all the issues that they had. So the first thing I want to tell people is never really analyze anybody in their relationship, because you never know what's really going on behind closed doors or anything like that. But I'm going to ask you, when you think of what a modern day woman is, tell me what your definition is, and do you think I fall into that category?
I would say you do. I mean, my definition is definitely controlling.
I'm controlling.
What?
Okay, so
controlling is being nice.
Okay, so you think that I mean, I am controlling to a certain extent, but let's talk about that.
Mm-hmm. Here, and I think all men have this issue. Women sit in the passenger seat on purpose.
Wait, women don't always sit in the passenger seat. We sit in the driver's seat. You see what I'm saying?
No.
Okay,
whenever y'all got your husband or your man is driving, y'all sitting in the passenger seat on purpose. Y'all go around the car, get in the passenger seat, and then the whole time, y'all telling us how to drive.
Okay, well, okay, so you want to start there.
Yeah.
Okay, it's funny you said that because Kevin Samuel, I was watching something and he was actually talking about that, and it did make sense what he said, but I'm going to speak from a woman's point of view. Sometimes we're sitting in the passenger seat, okay? And we got to go deeper than this. This is just a little touching the tip of the iceberg. This ain't even a deep part. But since you brought that part up, I'll address it. We're sitting in the passenger seat watching y'all drive, right? The problem is your egos will not allow y'all to let us tell you, hey, look out. watch out, anything like that. Or, hey, slow down, you speeding. We get that you are in control, but at the same time, just because we might say something, I don't understand what the big issue is. If you're driving a car, did you lose your manhood because we spoke up on, what you could have done wrong behind the steering wheel?
No. See, here's where y'all make the mistake, because the first thing you attack, and I think all women attack, is when a man says something, it's his ego. Don't have nothing to do with ego. It's just saying, hey, you think I'm sitting here and didn't see the fucking deer in the front of me?
Well, if you seen the deer, you would slow down. But let's get into the deep part of it.
Mostly funny.
He said that's your personal shit. Yo, ow, it is what it is, okay? But okay, let's talk about this, okay? When we talk about today's modern woman, I feel like sometimes women, and I'm gonna go to Black women, right? A lot of men, especially Black men, they love to say Black women are very strong-headed and very controlling and this and that. But personally, in my opinion, it's not a Black woman thing. It's a modern woman thing. See, in today's time, I'll start with expectations. Let's start with expectations. I'm gonna keep it real. You can even say, you always tell me that my expectations for you is here, right? It's like too high to a certain extent, right?
Yeah, I would say that, yeah.
Okay. At first, I didn't understand where you were coming from, but I do get it. But let me explain something, because when you talk, I don't know how you guys' relationships is. And I'm not going to tell other people's personal business. I can only speak for myself and know that a lot of women, are feeling like we are doing so much more and our expectations for men is high, and we don't feel that the men are meeting these expectations. So it feels like almost like a disappointment in a sense. So it's like, how do you feel like when I say that? What comes to your mind?
I would say this: when you put an expectation on somebody, most of the times you setting yourself up for unnecessary pain and unnecessary letdown, because some expectations be unreal.
Okay.
And I'll use me as an example. Some of the things you see me do would be like, oh man, I can't believe you was able to figure out how to fix that.
Okay.
Yes, that's true. Yeah, I may be able to do some things, but I also know that there are some things that I can do. So when you say, hey, can you do that? And I go, no, I can't do that. It's like, oh, I think you should be able to know how to do that. And that's an expectation, because you believe something should be done because you think that I can do it. Okay,
so all right, I understand where you're coming from with that, right?
Now, all right, and when I talk about expectations, we're not talking about, hey, you expect your man to be good to me, good to you, loyal to you, because that's an expectation that you're supposed to have. Okay. But you should also know who you with, because if you expecting that person to do that and they don't do it, then that's a letdown. That is a personal issue with the guy, because you expecting them to do something they're supposed to do.
Okay.
But when I talk about expectation, there are some things that, like, not every man can fix a car, but every woman thinks a man can.
I don't think every woman thinks a man can fix the car, right? So that's
the kind of expectations I'm talking about. I'm not saying like your relationships where you supposed to do in a relationship, like I said, loyalty.
But not all men are loyal. But right, we'll get into that.
That is an expectation, but that is supposed to be there. That is an expectation I'm saying is supposed to be there. But I'm talking about unreal expectations.
Okay, so let's talk about this. Let's get to the meat and potatoes, right? So a lot of women complaining like, listen, they feel that they might work harder than their man, and or they might feel like they are more in tune as to doing certain things for the family as a whole, right? Maybe when it comes to the house or when it comes to the kids and stuff like that. And it seems like that men are more lax. They're more laid back, and the women become more of the aggressor, right? So it's almost like this masculinity has to come out of the woman because she feels that the man is not holding up to his part of being a masculine man, right? A man, and now she starts to resent that man and stop respecting him as a man because she doesn't feel that he is doing certain things that he's supposed to be doing. So a lot of women, I hear a lot of women talk about this and complain about it, and then the man is looking like, what the hell? Like, I'm doing everything that I'm supposed to be doing, and your expectations are too high. So what do you think about something like that as far as what I just explained?
When you say that, I look at it this. Everybody, when women complain about what's on their plate, you got to think about what you put on your plate. Now, taking care of the family and being part of the family, yeah, all right. Working, that's also, but sometimes y'all put a lot more on your plate. Well, men, we're going to do our job, do what we're supposed to do around the house, and then we want to chill. You know, we may not be looking for the extra stuff to do because we already done what we believe to be taken care of. You know, like there are men who take care of the household, who cook, clean.
You're one of them.
Do all of that,
yes,
right?
Yes.
But there are, me personally, I believe in, after I've reached the day of what I believe a day's work should be, it's personal time.
Let me say something. See, and I think that because today's modern woman is a lot of hard workers. It's a lot of business owners. It's a lot of people out there and that's grinding hard. And it seems to be, the talk is that it's more women that's like that. So when you say, well, we feel like we done our job, like some women feel like that y'all are not doing enough in the community, not doing enough when it comes to raising these Black boys and all of these things. So when we talk about, or it necessarily has to be Black boys, but I'm speaking from a Black woman's point of view when I say that. So I think that this is affecting the relationships with, whether it's boyfriend, girlfriend, couple, or marriage and stuff like that. I think that it's affecting the relationship. So what do you feel about that?
Now, when you talk about doing stuff in the neighborhood, right? That's another one. And I'm gonna be honest, that's an unreal expectation, because a man can go out there, get into the neighborhood and help the neighborhood. He can't change it alone.
Okay, but when is he going to start? Like,
no. And that's the issue, because y'all believe what y'all see on TV, that it's not happening. But it is men out there doing the job. It is men out there creating and helping uplift the Black community. Unfortunately, when we don't control the media, you're going to see more of the negativity, because that's always been what's been about Black men. And now I'm going to speak for Black men, because that's what who I am. But what I see, when you see about the Black man, it's always been the negativity first. You don't ever see the positivity. Okay. It's there, but it's not talked about.
But what about, okay, so you're talking about media, right? I'm talking about people at home, like women at home that are complaining about their relationships, their boyfriends, their husbands, their significant others, or whatever the case may be. You're saying that with the media, but what about what the woman is seeing at home?
Right, but that's what I'm saying. That becomes an unrealistic expectation, because you're expecting your man now to be home with you and out in the community at the same time.
No, I don't think that they're expecting that, or I'm not expecting that.
Right, but no, I'm saying, but when you're complaining about it, like, oh, our Black men are out, not out there. You're now putting all of the Black men under the bus for an expectation you expect for what you want your man to do.
Do you think that women's expectations should be lower for men? And before you answer that, let me just say, what I found interesting is that, like, they tell women to lower their expectations when it comes to men, as if they should be just settling for anything and dealing for whatever. And not to bring in the race, but a lot of times I feel like, especially Black women are told that, well, I mean, you should just be happy with this and you should just be content with that, as if they don't deserve more than that. And then I think the expectations are so lower that it's like,
they're not telling Black women or women in general to lower their expectations. They're telling them to lower their standard.
That's
two different things.
That's still bad.
No.
Lower your standard?
No. And I'm explaining to you why.
What do they deserve?
I'm explaining to you why. Not saying in a sense where what you expect from a person. Like I told you, loyalty and all of that is supposed to come. When some of the expectations be, look, women out here want a good man, but they want him to be 6 feet, dark and lovely, straight hair, or whatever, I'm throwing an exaggeration. But I'm saying you expecting all of that, right? But you may overlook a short guy who doesn't have all of that, but is a good man. So that's
I didn't overlook you, shorty.
I'm tall. We ain't even gonna have that. I'm tall. I'm taller than you.
Okay. All right. So
but that's what I say is lowering your standard. You can't ask for something and then be like, oh well, it ain't out here, because you may pass up a good man, but your standard for what you think is a good man is wrong, because that tall guy might not be the good man.
I mean, I agree with that. And I want to address something that Al Mosley said, but I want to say this. I noticed that some women who complain about, it's no good guys out here, I can't find the good guys. They're always looking for the same like type of guy. And I believe that there definitely are good men out there. Now, listen, again, I'm going to touch on some things that it's just going to be my opinion. But I just want to say, sometimes they constantly keep picking the wrong man over and over again. And it has a lot to do with them versus the fact that it's bad guys out there. No, it's more about who they are and what they're looking for in a man. Sometimes they pick maybe not the greatest man because they don't feel like they deserve better when they should have better. You got to think better about yourself. But this is more on a modern day woman thing, but I'm just saying, you know what I mean? Like, you got to definitely know that you deserve better. I don't think you should be lowering your standards for anybody. Now, I heard what's his name? Kevin Samuel, right? He made some points about women, and he was like, you want this, you want all this stuff from a guy, but you don't have this going on, you don't have that going on. And then he asked, I wish I took a clip. He asked the girl, do you got kids? And she was like, yeah. And he was like, okay, well, you got kids and you want that man to take care of your kid too and do this and do that. You want him to be the provider, be the protector, be the emotional support, take care of you, take care of his kids, take care of the kids that's not his kids. He dropped a whole list down, and then he was like, but then what are you giving him? He was like, what are you giving him? So I thought that was very interesting, because it is a very good point that we do have to think about, right? So now here I am going on the flip side of it. It's like we do ask a lot from men nowadays, and our expectations are pretty high. And we have to remember that we're asking a lot from them. And what are we giving them? So are they asking all of this from us? Maybe they're not. Maybe we are bugging a little bit.
Y'all are. and now that you said that about, and I'm a reference with Kevin Samuel, and I don't know the whole facts of the story, but in my experience, what I've seen, and not me personally, but you have women out here who have kids. They want the next man to take care of their kids, the stepdaddy, but they're not making the daddy do his job.
That's a good one.
And then they put that expectation on the men that they with, like, hey, you need to take care of my kid and do all of this for my kid. And which, if you're in a relationship with somebody else, that should be a part of the deal. But you can't leave out the father, because the father should be the main part of the provider for that child.
I agree with you. I do agree. I tell me if you guys agree with that. I think that's a very great point that you're making. I want to address Al Mosley. He said, go back, because I kept seeing this, not that women want to be men or something like that. Al, I'm about to come for you, okay? I'm about to come for you, Al. I'm just telling you right now. Hold on. You made that statement, Al, and I just got to tell you, I ain't trying to hear that. That's shots fired. Shots fired. First of all, let me address that. Al Mosley, I'm going back to that. Did you put it up there? Yeah. Women want to be men. That's the problem. Hold up. Okay? First of all, we're not going to talk about the fact that it's a lot of guys that want to be women, right? But okay. Let's start there. All right. Okay. But check this out. And I don't have a problem with. Listen, I ain't got a problem with either one of them. But let's talk about this. First of all, I don't believe that women want to be men. I feel like, even for me, if I feel like I'm doing too much, and I have to do that, then in my mind, and you could let me know if I'm wrong, then I'm feeling like, why is it the man doing it? If you want me to play the woman role, then you got to let me chill and you got to step up and take that initiative and play that masculine man role. Women don't want to be men. We want y'all to be men. But sometimes we feel like y'all not being men and we feel like we got to step in and be the man for y'all. And then that's when you get that aggressive masculine part of a woman that you look at like, why is she so aggressive? Because you not aggressive enough. And we like, damn, when you going to step up and be that man? You understand what I'm saying? You think that we want to be like this? Do you think that we want to be aggressive and have all of that? We don't. We want to have that fall back, let you handle it. But when you going to handle it?
You know what the problem is?
Okay.
Controlling women. And I'm going to say this. When y'all want a man to do it, y'all want him to do it your way. So if you want him to be in control, you have to fall back. A lot of the controlling women don't know how to fall back and let the man do his job.
And let me say this. What's up, Katrina? I see you want to check in. How you doing? What's up, Melinda? Hey, y'all, listen, we will open up those phone lines if y'all want, okay? Al Mosley said bullshit story. Listen, you said that women don't let y'all be controlled. Don't know when to fall back. And I don't know, ladies, let me know in the comment section if you agree or not. The reason that we don't know how to fall back is because we feel like we've been doing it so long, it becomes a habit. When you do something so long over and over and you guys ain't stepping up to the plate and we feel like we got to now take that role that you should have been taking in the first place, of course, it's going to be hard to turn that off. How do we turn it off?
I have to disagree with that because y'all make it hard. All you got to do, and I say this, I always say this, when you're in control and you give somebody control, you got to let them have it. But and I say this to you, if you want me to do the job your way, then you do it. That's it. That's how it's supposed to be. But if you want me to be in control, then you have to let me do it and see how I do it. It's not always going to be the way you think it's going to work, but it just might work my way.
Okay, I understand that. And I want to get to I want to go back. I'm laughing at Katrina because she said in high blood pressure. Because listen, we got high blood pressure. We got all these things, right? And going back to that guy again, Kevin Samuels, he said that in one of his lives. He was like, if y'all want to be men, fine, take it. Take that, take the high blood pressure. And he's right. We are taking all of that shit. And guess what? And y'all, listen, men used to outlive women, but now.
No, women used to live out.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry. Yes, thanks for correcting me. Men used to
die before women.
But now it's changing. And we have health issues. We have all of this stuff going on. These comments is crazy. I'm gonna get to those comments because I love the comments. We have all of these things going on, and a lot of it, I think, it stems from y'all. I mean,
no.
Listen. Women are at home doing a lot. Trying to figure out how to make things work with the kids, trying to make sure that everything's good, house is good, credit is good, bills is paid, right? I think y'all got it easy.
No, you're wrong. And I'm explaining to you why. Don't blame that on men. You might want to blame that on the women back in the 50s and 60s when they decided that, hey, they wanted to get out here and work. Because y'all took on, that's the issue. When it was easy, when you had it, there were women out here saying, nope, I want to be able to do that job also. So now, not saying that men should take it easy, right? But you can't blame it all on us. Because this is what I say about having an expectation in your household. If you're in a relationship, these things should be talked about before y'all make that relationship an idea. That way you're not, and that's where expectations come, where I say you set the unreal expectations. Because if women have made it a habit of thinking a man should read their mind.
Well, let me say something to that. And then I keep saying I want to get to these comments because shit is funny. Listen, it's not about reading our mind. Ladies, let me know if you agree with this or not. Here's the thing. It's like, do y'all even take the extra step to figure things out, to make sure, because how you going to be with somebody and you don't know what they like, what they want, what they don't like, and all that stuff? That means you're not paying attention. It's not about reading our mind. Pay attention. We need to prompt you and tell you every single thing to do.
Yep.
And you saying yeah, and then you wonder why we are control freaks and we're in control.
No.
Because of that right there.
I'm gonna say why. Because what happens, and this is not just universal to just women or men. This is universal to the whole relationship in general.
Okay.
People still live in their old relationships. So you think back into your old relationship of what you expected and what you didn't get in that relationship. And now you're expecting a new person to know what you didn't get in the old relationship and provide that. But in order for a relationship to work, you first have to tell the person what you want. You first have to tell the person what you expect out of that relationship. Now, and it's always easy. And I always look at it this way. It's always easy to tell somebody what you expect because they have the choice now to say whether they're going to do it or not. Now, once they start knowing what you like, what you want, what you expect from them, and they don't do it, then you can say, yo, look, you didn't meet my expectation.
Okay, I agree with that and I understand that. But see, what I'm talking about is when people are in long relationships, right? And they still like, there should be nobody. Now, let me back up and make sure that I'm clear when I say this. You're responsible for your own happiness. You never look for anybody to complete you. You should already be complete. I understand that. What I'm saying is just to clarify that before I make my statement is the fact that how can people be with a woman or a man, right? And expect them to tell them and prop them on everything. And when they do, even later on down the line, they're still like, trying to figure out or they not doing certain things. Like some men still don't even know what they women like in bed. You understand? I hear people complain about that all the time. It's like I think you guys also living in a fantasy world too. When it comes to social media, you got all these girls twerking and shaking their ass on social media. Y'all watch pornos and think that we supposed to be the porn star, or you know what I'm saying? Y'all got expectations when it comes to that, don't you?
Yeah, but
okay, y'all heard
I'll
him.
go back to what I said. If you want something that you are not getting, if you don't ever tell the person that they're not doing it, you can't hold them responsible. How can somebody be wrong for something they don't know they're not doing? Then I'm going to bring it to your example. And when women say, "Oh, this guy's not meeting my expectation in bed. He don't know what I want." Tell him. What's wrong with telling him? You know, and it's vice versa.
Right. Some people, I think that some people don't know how to communicate when it comes to sexually.
Tell me.
You know what I'm saying? Some people don't know how to. But let me go back to something that you said, because you was like, "It's the women's in the 50s fault." Because I ain't forget that. Okay, I'm backtracking. All right, you saying women in the 50s is their fault, but just like Tell Mama said, right? She said it takes two incomes, especially in today's time, to have a household, to run a household, unless like, you know, you doing it big and you making a lot of money. Now, some people can make it off of one household and some women do too, you know, alone, right? But it is more harder and difficult. The average person would be struggling because inflation is happening and pay is not going up and opportunities is not there for everyone. So I'm saying when you make a statement like that about blame the women in the 50s, you mean to tell me that you are not happy with the working women of today?
No, I'm not saying that. But when y'all want to complain about it, you can't blame nobody for what we didn't ask y'all to do. Now, women, and I'm going to say this, women always say they want a man to take care of them, right? Or they want a man to provide in the household.
Okay.
Going back to what Town Mama said, it takes two incomes.
Okay.
But some women complain that, you know what? Oh, I gotta do all of this. I gotta pay the bills. I gotta help pay the bills. If you know it takes two incomes to provide for your home, you can't expect a Birkin bag from your man.
That is very true. I don't think everybody's out here expecting Birkin bags.
You know what? It is. A lot of women out here today are looking at these women on social media.
The Instagram influencers.
They're telling them this is what you should have. This should be the life for you. Even though, you know, and then they're looking at their guy who might work in McDonald's and I'm not shitting on UPS, but I'm just saying that just those jobs are blue collar work and they're expecting a man to do first class stuff, you know, on a pay that you're now expecting him to take care of your bills, fly you to Italy on a private jet with an income he don't have. Okay. All right. Well, I mean, I don't know. I'm not asking for none of that shit. I'm not saying this is what you see in women. It's you know, Kevin Samuel and I've seen a little skits of what he's not famous for what he does for nothing, because he is making a point.
I think he is making great points. I just want to say I'm laughing at Grant Body P. He said, I'm over here taking notes with my single ass. Well, Grant Body P, listen, let me tell you something. Well, let's first, why are you single, right? Why are you single? Are you single by choice or because you want to be? Or are you single because you feel that you not finding the right one? Is the modern day woman too much for you? You know what I'm saying? Because I feel, is the modern day woman too much for you, Ray?
No.
No?
Nope.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, yes,
it gets on my nerves.
Big shout out to King Charlie Prince. We can see your texts, okay? Well, you know, let's go to some of if you want to scroll back and address some of these things that people said. You could go a little bit more for the back. But overall, you know, when we're talking about masculinity and things like that and men, at the end of the day, communication is key. I believe communication is key. It shouldn't be man versus woman, and you know, but it is.
That's unfortunately, that's what society has made relationships. When you look at now, when you look at my own grandparents on my father's side were married till they died. You know? Okay. And you don't see that anymore because everybody's looking at TV thinking that's what I'm supposed to have. And TV relationships aren't real. Well, I mean, I think everybody has those expectations of that's what they're supposed to have. Oh, I was looking at Melinda. Melinda said that no woman, there we go. Okay. No woman don't want to be a man, but sometimes women have to play both roles. And that's what I was saying earlier. Absolutely. Women do have to play. You go too fast, babe. Slow down a little bit. See, you ain't in control. You're going too quick. Yeah. You know, they have to play both roles in a sense. And I do agree with Melinda on that statement. How do you disagree with that? What? Sometimes you have to ask yourself, are you playing a role because you did not let the explain to the man what you want, what you expect from him? Okay. And that's where communication comes in. If you want a man, if you got to play both roles, then you got to understand, did you tell him what you want? And did you fall back to let him do it? Okay, well, that's true too. I agree with that. Al Mosley said, and I guess this is to earlier, he said, be aggressive and y'all call it abuse. Now, see, there's a difference. Al Mosley, abuse, if physical, are you saying it in a demeaning way? Because the way that you can speak to someone and how you talk to them, it can be abuse. So, you know, I don't know if you were referring to that as far as when it comes to how women speak to men or how men speak to women. But either way, it's the same thing. It is the same thing. And then he said that Janet Jackson fucked us all up with this control stuff. No, I don't think so. Listen, at the end of the day, and I'm going to backtrack again, when you talk about and when you think about today's man, okay, in my opinion, it ain't enough masculinity out there when it comes to today's men. I that's just what I think. I think that the guys are comfortable. They're too laid back. Okay, they saying women, fall back and chill. But if we fall back and chill, we might fall into a hole. Shit might get messed up. Things might start. We can't chill. That's women's. We can't chill. That's not true. That's women's anxiety taking over. That if I fall back, the whole world's gonna collapse. That's not true. That's unexpected. That's an unreal expectation you put on yourself, that the world's going to collapse if I don't have control. Well, the world is collapsing, and that's the way that I look at it. The world is collapsing, and this is why you see more women that's being aggressive. Let's read one of King Charlie Prince's comments. You go ahead, Abe. Men supposed to represent the sun. The women supposed to represent the moon in order to shine a light on the children who represent the stars. But the men are gone. The men are gone. See, King Charlie Prince, I'm glad that there's a man out there who's agreeing. I have to disagree with that because the men. I don't disagree. The men are there, and I'm explaining you. Where they at? I can name a few. No, we're talking to men out here. You saying that there aren't men out here making a difference? Like, for instance, not much. They're out there though, but you can't say there are none. I didn't say that there's none. Let me clarify that. I'm not saying that there's none. What I'm saying is, and back to the modern woman thing, what I'm saying is that today, right, I don't think that the masculinity
is enough in men, in relationships, in marriages, in the community. Period. I think that there are some people out there, but I think that y'all could just do better. You should be more protective. You should stand up more. You should speak up more. What I remember back in the day. Okay. And it's a shame because when I think about even a lot of my family, cousins and uncles, right? And a lot of them passed away, but they were very protective of us. We didn't have to worry about nothing. Now today, a man to stand by and watch a woman get beat on the street and he'll take his freaking cell phone out and record it so he could get views rather than protecting the woman. So now you got the woman in the freaking front line fighting when the men should be in the damn front.
That is the minimum. That is not true. It's only what social media show you. Social media always show you the men not standing in the front.
They're showing us on their social media.
My son is out there all the time. I see.
Okay, some. That's why I said some.
There are, but no. But when the way you're making it sound is like you're. And here's what I'm gonna tell you like this. All right. When you look at the community, right?
Oh, you're going too fast, babe.
You want the man to be responsible for the whole community, right? Mm-hmm. And now I would say this: men should be responsible first for their household, and you'll automatically start to have control over the community. But unfortunately, and I don't say this in a wrong way, a lot of relationships now, because of some men have women by kids just to be saying, "Fuck it, I had a baby," right? Mm-hmm. Now you have this baby by this woman, and you're not in the household. So now unfortunately, when men are not in the household, we decide, fuck it, we're going to go on, we're going to move in, we're going to have another relationship with somebody else. Unfortunately, now you're asking other men in the community to take care of your badass kid and make sure your badass kid is doing what they're supposed to do when you can't control them. What makes you think that kid will listen to me if he won't even listen to you? Let's
backtrack real quick. And this is what I'm talking about when it comes, and this is why fathers are so important in a man's life. And when we talk about the modern day woman, it's like she sometimes got to be the mother and the father, right? But the fathers are needed. I don't believe that a woman could teach a boy how to be a man. I think that's a man's job. But see, the father should be there holding it down regardless. It should not be the mother, the wife, or whoever as the main person that's constantly disciplining the boy. A man should not be so relaxed and letting shit go and fly, because if you fall back and you don't discipline our son, I'm looking at you like, how the hell? Because if I'm gonna tell you something, if our son don't respect me, right? If he don't respect you, he damn sure ain't gonna respect me. Who does he fear? Exactly. That means he'll do any damn thing.
Exactly. And unfortunately, you asking, when you sit there and not enough men in our community to take care of and make sure our community is good. You got to understand now, you're asking men to take care of a community where the women are in control of their kids. And if the women aren't, and like I said, it's not the woman's fault. Mm-hmm. I will put that on but it has to be on the father first before you start saying, "Hey, this is another man's job."
But forget about the fact that let's start with the parents, the two, and not the step parents and none of that stuff. Let's talk about the father, right? So I'm speaking like for the actual father. The father, is the father not doing their job? Because I'm gonna tell you, a lot of people say what's wrong with these kids today. A lot of what's wrong with them today is the fact that the men, in my opinion, is slacking. They are not being as strong as they should be, building these young boys up to be strong men. They are not. They're getting too freaking relaxed to me, too chill, and falling back. And then you wonder why the kids is like this, because they ain't got strong black men or men that's holding the shit down like they're supposed to be.
No, you can't say that. They don't have, within the community, you cannot blame the whole black community for women or single parents who are not there. And that's the issue. The issue with me is we saying, hey, look, it's the whole black community, it's the all black men, because one guy didn't take care of his kid. Well,
okay, slow down. Mm-hmm.
You're saying that it's because one guy didn't take care of his kid. Then it's not the whole community, and it's not the man's job to go in the community and take care of it. Now,
what?
No, listen.
What?
Let me finish.
I disagree with that.
You didn't let me finish.
Okay.
It's not initially my job. Now, my job as a community, Black men should work together as a whole to take care of the community. But I cannot go into I got to take care of my household and then go out into the community where women aren't, where, you know, and I hate to say it, these kids don't respect their parents. And then you're telling me, hey, go out there and control these kids.
Right. Here, give me that. You know. Right. Absolutely. So I agree. I'm laughing because, wait, let me see. Where is, somebody said you're going to be on the couch. There we go. Tell mama said you're going to be on the couch, right?
Yeah.
And Al Mosley said that he's out there in the community. You know,
but
or wherever he go.
It takes a community. You cannot hold you can't look at your husband and go, oh man, you know what? Look at all these guys out here shooting up the neighborhood. What are you doing to fix it? You know?
Well, I mean, listen, it starts at home. It starts at home. And that's what I'm saying. Like, you bring up my sign, but what's the girl's name that I sampled her voice? Oh my God, I can't think.
They on the show
but
together.
She's out there speaking up on the front lines. Another woman. It's a lot of women out there on the front lines. Now, don't get me wrong, it's okay, but all I'm saying is I feel like it's a lot more women on the front and men is just sitting back at home playing video games, chilling with their feet up, relaxed and comfortable. That's what I think.
That's the problem with thinking, because it's not a fact. I'm gonna be honest. That's the problem with thinking. The fact of the matter is, it is men out there, and I'm gonna point out to St. Louis for example. 6 men, for the reason that the St. Louis got a lot of change in their neighborhood, have been killed or died mysteriously for standing up. See, what you don't know is happening is that these men are dying.
No, listen, I know that there's men dying. Listen.
And that's the issue with it. The leaders are when the Black man stands up, the leaders are being killed.
Women are being killed too.
I'm not saying that they're not, but we're saying that men ain't doing it. But they're killing the men at an alarming rate whenever they stand up. Like I said, you can look. So
does that mean that you don't fight?
No, but you can't say that it's not happening.
Because again,
they're dying to do it.
Okay. So,
but the problem is, you will never see that on TV. The 6 men, the men who initially started the change in St. Louis, got killed mysteriously. All of them died mysteriously.
Right. Listen, let me just say, when I'm talking about today, right, today's time, when I'm speaking about modern women and relationships and marriages, I'm trying to figure out, I'm just telling you from my viewpoint how I see it, the lens that I look through, right? When I look through and I look around and I hear and I talk to different people, a lot of women have the same complaints, that you men are getting way too comfortable and just really falling back. And you're saying it's our anxiety, we need to calm down, but we saying we can't calm down. Do you see what's going on? Do you see what's happening? If we don't fight and keep going, then we're going to find ourselves in a serious situation. It might be a deeper hole that we already in a deeper hole. Now, Al Mosley is saying, hey, etc., like the police, y'all got to worry about the police. And what do he say? Police, etc., is pressure on us. No, we need a woman to nag. I guess he's saying that the police is a pressure on Black men. Or men, period, right? And that women are nags, right? You don't need the nagging. But you know what? You're saying you don't need the nagging, but y'all men nag too. You act like men, but listen, y'all, in my opinion, y'all becoming more nags than anybody else, because at the end of the day, you nagging over unimportant stuff, and we thinking about what's important.
You know what? But once again, I'll go back to women's anxiety, because as soon as y'all think, oh my God, it's not going the way I think it should plan, that I think it should go, y'all start saying it's the men's now. Hey, look, you're not doing enough. But it's not going to always go. The world was not created to be perfect. And a lot of, I hate to say this, y'all modern women y'all want perfection without being perfect yourself.
Okay, I can understand that. I do think that, I ain't going to lie. We do, I will say, us as women, we do look for perfection in y'all to a certain extent. But it's like, sometimes I feel like, are y'all meeting any expectation when it comes to, I'm going back to masculinity. What is that? What does that mean? Because I guess it's about, what is it that we really want from a man? And what do we consider to be a man? Because of some women to say, you ain't no man if you don't do this, that, and the third. You understand?
Yeah. Some women might look at a man who cooks. It's like, oh, what's wrong with you? You know that's the issue with looking outside of your window to see what somebody else is doing.
Right. Big shout out to BCA. I see you, mama, over there in the ATL. Make sure y'all check her out. She does amazing write-ups. That's her right there, y'all. Make sure y'all check her out. If you need a write-up for your website, for your business and all that, she does that. So big shout out to her. Yeah, so Town Mama says, it's not just a man's job to go into the community. Many women are out there. And I agree. And that's what I've been saying to you. I agree. It is a lot of women that's also on the front lines. But what I'm saying is, are you telling me that you don't think that there's a lot of men out here with their cell phones? And
I'm not saying
instead of being protectors, they're trying to get likes and views.
But I'm not saying that. And I'm never saying that it's not happening, because it is happening. And I've complained about it myself when I've seen it. But you cannot throw all men into a box.
I am not throwing all men
into. That's what it sounds like.
No, that's what you're taking it as. I'm not throwing all men. I know that there are great men out there. I know a lot of them, and you're one of them. You understand? So I understand that, but I'm not going to lie. I feel like there's some expectations sometimes that I feel that you don't be meeting when it comes to masculinity stuff too, when it comes to the kids. I feel you should be more aggressive with our son, right? I feel there was certain things that you should be doing sometimes that I feel that I'm doing, and I'm looking at you like, how come you not on it?
And I'm going to tell you why. And that's the issue, because you think the way I might be doing it might not be the way you should be doing it. So it's something wrong with me. Like, if my lesson may not work.
No, I understand that there's more than one way on how you could do something.
That's the women's issue, because y'all look at it, oh, you're not doing it this way. You're not like me. You know, sometimes I go straight to ass whooping. There are some times where I sit there, maybe an ass whooping is not what needs to be happening right now. Okay. And a conversation should happen. There were times where we disagree, where you should be whooping his ass instead of talking to him. But I think a lot of times where I sat down instead of whooping his ass, got a conversation out of him and understood.
Let me say this, because I think that this is so important, especially for our young boys, okay? And this is really, honestly, this is not really a young black boy thing. This is a young American boys, white, black, I don't care what you are, Hispanic, whatever. The problem that I feel is that these young boys are so into their video freaking games all day. And I think that the fathers encourage it and they influence it when they should be doing more things to build them up mentally strong. These boys, do our sons know how to hunt if some shit was to happen? If they need to go out there and hunt and bring some food back? Do our sons know how to fight on the front line if they had to do that? Do our sons know how to use their mind in a certain way and know how to be creators and not just consumers? I'm talking about stuff like that we should be teaching our kids, and they need strong leaders that show them that. They should not just be sitting at home playing freaking video games all day, and it shouldn't be the mother that be the only person complaining about it. The man should be like, yo, get off that game, read a book, do this, go out, work out, strengthen yourself, educate your mind, make, stuff like that. What do you mean, whatever?
No, because once again, you're saying, you know what? It's the man. He's not doing his job if he doesn't make him get off the video game. But once again, you're saying it's that, and I'm gonna say this. Yes, every kid should know how to hunt, know how to use a gun or whatever, right?
Yes.
But you can't. Let's take it to the city. Where are we hunting in the city? I grew up in the city. I ain't know shit about hunting. I don't know a damn thing about hunting.
All right.
I grew up, and let me not finish, because I also was in the military. There wasn't no man telling me, hey, to get on the front line. But and I'd say this all the time. Men, yes, we have to raise our son. We have to encourage our son. But you also, you got to sometimes let them hit their head, because that's the mother of all lessons.
I agree with that. I do agree with that.
If you always over there picking them up, saying, hey, you're doing more damage than good.
Okay. I mean, listen, let me first respond to that, and then I want to apply it to Town Mama. We as women, we're nurturers, right? We're nurturers. We're more nurturers. We're more, oh, baby, this and that, right? But it has changed. We're becoming the person that is more aggressive, more, hey, do this, do that. I tell Nasir all the time, yo, did you pick up a book today? Read. At least read this many. He sometimes act like he doesn't want to read a freaking book, and I don't like that. I'm like, yo, you need to read a book. Pick up this and read. Now, he does other things, but it's important. And sometimes I look like, yo, you're not telling him to read a book. It's more than just about playing basketball. Right. He has to elevate his mind.
It's a two-way street.
Because,
and I'm explaining to you why.
Okay.
Because when he was growing up, there was a lot of times where I said to you, why are you in here cooking for him?
Okay, so they go to the nurturing part of me, right?
But now, when you're looking at him and you're seeing, well, he won't even get out and cook for himself. He won't even make a meal. You know it. Then you're looking at these are the things that you have to.
I am not taking responsibility for that.
No,
let me tell you. Let me just tell y'all what my son said to my daughter today. Okay, and my daughter brought it to my attention. So my son had a basketball game today. When he came back home, my son said to my daughter, what he said? I should have had a hot. Why wasn't there a hot meal waiting for me?
I was expecting or something like that.
I was expecting a hot meal waiting for me when I got here. Where the hell he get that from?
That's because
I don't teach my son to be that type of person.
So how is that you can't say that's a man's fault, because we always got to remember one thing about it. These kids are their own personality. So no matter what you teach us, it would be like when you look at all the strippers in the world, can you blame the mother? The mother might have did everything they wanted to do, but they didn't want their daughter to be a stripper.
Well, some mothers in today's time, I would blame the mother.
No, because
these mothers are influencing that type of behavior because they're looking for attention. They tell their kids, don't do certain things and care about, love yourself. And they turn around and do the same thing for attention on social media.
No, but I'm saying, but you can't, there are parents, we can raise our son to be the best we can, but our kid will go out there in the world and make his own decisions. I agree with that. But so you can't hold the person responsible for that.
I agree. It is not. Listen, we could do the best as we can as parents, but your kid is going to be your kid, right? But it's still our job to teach them, to continue to teach and instill what they need in them so they can grow up to be responsible adults that know and have accountability for their actions, that make a difference in this world and not out there being a part of the destruction in the community. And that I put on fathers because I feel that, again, and I'm circling back to that, is not enough men doing their job. And then this is why you got the modern day woman that is stepping up to the plate, taking the responsibility of what I think a man should have. Listen, tell mama says she taught her son how to hunt. Okay.
I have to disagree with that because I mean, we're looking at a community of people we don't know what's going on in their life and why the father's not there. You know, so you're once again we're making a judgment call on all men because we are looking at a society who has been raised. I was raised by a single mother, but I didn't come out. I'm not out there killing people. So you cannot blame everybody because you know what? Unfortunately, you can look and go, it's the man's fault that child is not out there. But who's to say that the reason that child don't have his father in his life is because the mother's being an asshole?
I mean, and that's
a two-way street.
That could be true.
Look at every situation and put it on. That's the problem with the black community in general, because we throw everything into a box and say, yep, it's everybody. And then when we get mad with everybody else for telling us that, when white people say, hey, look at all black people are the same, we are mad. But why would we be mad with people for saying the exact thing that we're saying?
I'm not mad at nobody. I think that, listen, I'm not mad, whether it's a white person, a black person, or whoever. To me, it doesn't matter which way it's coming from, because to be honest with you, a lot of these issues are not just with black people. This is in a household. There are white women going through the same thing. And this is why I'm saying this is not a modern day thing. And this is not a black woman thing, because there are white successful women that's out there working their ass off. And the white men are getting comfortable too. So, going to something that Town Mama said, she said that they're using video games as a babysitter, and
some mothers are doing it too.
I agree. I agree with you, Town Mama. They are letting video games, and you know who's letting it happen? The men more than anybody else.
Is this happening in a 2-family house?
What?
The men using the babysitters as a video game? Is it only happening in a 2-family house?
No.
All right. So if there's no man in the household, how could it be the man's fault?
No. Well, again, this is just my theory. Okay. And look, I could be so wrong, and I don't mind being checked. Okay. I don't mind being checked. I'm telling you how I see it.
Right.
When I look at what is going on today, and I look at the kids, and everybody want to blame kids for being the way that they are. But if they have no leaders, if they don't see, I'm talking about a group of men, black, white, whoever, coming together and showing them what it's like to be providers and mentally strong and knowing how to be creators and not just always consumers, understanding how to have fun, but understanding respect, teaching these young boys, you open the door up for the woman. But now we got these men calling women bitches all day. They don't respect them. They don't open the door for them. I mean, I tell my son all the time, do you know what side you're supposed to walk on if you're walking with a girl? When you're walking through the door, who opens that door for the person to walk through? You hold the door for the woman. You know, certain things like there should be men dressing up like these guys are walking around with their pants hanging off their butt, and it should be strong leaders, guys in the community that's taking these kids and saying this is how you're supposed to look presentable, and this is how you should dress, and this is the way that you should be yourself, but teach them how to be way more better human beings and more responsible. I think that we're lacking in the issue with what's happening in the community with these kids is men's fault.
No, it's not.
It's because they're not stepping up to the freaking plate.
You know what that is? That's the modern woman talking. Once again, that's what that is. That is a modern woman saying it's all your fault, and they're not taking your modern women saying, you know what? I'm throwing my hands in the air. This has nothing to do with me. But in order for a community to raise up and develop, you need both people working together. But once you start blaming the other person, you've already failed the whole community.
Well,
because you, like I said, and I'm gonna speak, and in a community that I do know, when you look at the black community and you ask why are there no men there, you got to think about some of them are in jail, immediately removed from the family.
Okay,
you know, some of them are dead, unfortunately. And then you got the ones you have the ones who are there, and then you have the ones who aren't. You got the ones who aren't there. You have to ask why. Was it a personal choice? Then yes, that's their fault. Or was it the mother's choice? Then that becomes the mother's fault. So it's a box and it's a kaleidoscope of what's wrong with the community, not just one particular individual. And that's where we're making a mistake. And the modern woman is always going, look at what's wrong with this whole thing. It's the good. There's no good men out there. That's not true.
Okay, I didn't say it wasn't no good men. I just feel that it's majority is more is less than it is good.
You have to look at and that's where that's the idea of why what's wrong with relationships and with that modern thinking, because you're not looking at the whole picture.
Okay,
you're looking at just one little idea of what's wrong, and you're going, "Yep, this is the man's fault."
Okay. All right. So let me address
thinking.
Cal Cutter. Big shout out to Cal Cutter on the check-in. Listen, Cal Cutter said, keep it biblical. Men lead, women is the helper. Do you agree or disagree with that?
I don't disagree. But
so then lead then, men, because that's what I'm saying.
Fall back.
And when we fall back, all hell, the shit goes down the drain. Okay, there goes the neighborhood. That's all I'm trying to say.
Once again,
they lost the neighborhood when we fall back.
That's the modern woman thinking again. Because honestly, I'm gonna tell you what the modern woman is: emotional thinker.
What?
You're run emotionally. Which again, it's your emotional control. You have to be emotionally in control over everything. So when it doesn't look like the way you think it should be, then it's an issue.
People, tell them about the modern neighborhood.
Yeah, I mean, it is what it is. We always have to. We got to change that idea of what everybody expects a man to do in the. When you're putting an expectation on somebody, it has to be realistic.
Okay.
And right now, like I said, when you're saying, "Oh, look at this," it's the community is all messed up. Yes, it's the man's fault if he's seeing a woman getting her ass whooped and he's on a recording. Yes, that's a personal thing. Okay. Not the whole black community. That's a personal. That got to be fixed by that individual. But then again, it also, I guarantee you, there's a girl out there who's hyping them up. It's a yin and a yang to that. There's some girl out here talking about, look at the man, look at all them. You're the man now. Look at all the social media guys. They dating them now. So you also got to choose who you date, because that's if that's what you see, men.
But some people don't know who they're dating. They don't find out who a person is until later on, or some people freaking change. Like you meet their representative, they're one way, and then they get comfortable and they get lazy.
Well, that's why I said to you, you let the person. That's why communication is important, because if you don't tell a person, hey, your changes, or this is what's changing about our relationship, you cannot be mad that you're not getting what you want.
Big shout out to Lady Z in the house. I see you, Mama. Big shout out to Lady Z. Well, it's not about being mad, not getting what you want. What happens is, and it happens on both sides, women and men. People get comfortable. And then they stop doing certain things. Yep. And that's what I'm saying. All I'm saying is a modern day woman is looking at y'all men like you're getting too damn comfortable. You're too freaking comfortable. You're falling back. Okay. You're not standing up and fighting up for enough. This is what I think. Now, is it a problem that I think like that?
Yes.
I mean,
it's a big one. I'm going to explain to you why.
All right.
That's another what's unfairly being done as modern women, because y'all go, look, only the man got comfortable. But what if the changes in the relationship change because of you?
I mean, that's a good point. That's a good point.
What if the man was doing what he was supposed to do, but not realizing, because women do make the mistake of feeling like, you know what? Men don't deserve everything that they believe they deserve because of that thinking. Mm-hmm. Because of that, well, you're not doing this and you're not doing that. But since and I say this all the time, and it happens in all relationships. People are so busy looking at what's missing in the relationship that they actually miss out on what's good in it.
I agree with that. I just, again, going back to, well, let me address that. People can miss what's good in it because they are constantly searching, looking for perfection, which sometimes I do. And I know that, I'm not perfect. So it's wrong for me to actually expect perfection from someone else when I'm not perfect myself, right? We have a tendency to do that. And I get that. I can understand the man's point of view. Again, when I look at everything as a whole, and I keep going back to this, and I don't know, it's just, for me, what do I see when it comes to a man? He should be a protector first. He should always be a protector. He should be a provider, right? He should be the protector. He should be the provider. He should be the head of the household. That I think old school like that. I don't know if it's a good thing or bad thing. Now, if any of those things, if I feel that a man is not doing any of those things, right? The protector, the provider, the head of the household, and if I have to ever step in place and do any of that, as a modern day woman thinking, right? Then I'm automatically looking at him like, yo, he's not on his job and he's not doing his job. So if a man knows that, listen, this is what I'm supposed to be, right? Do you feel you're supposed to be that? And if I expect that from you, why am I wrong?
Right. But that's why I said communication comes in, because is your man providing? If that's in yes, then what's the issue? Two, I would say like this. Only way I see a man should always be protective of his woman, but a woman should never put her man in a position where he always has to be.
And what would that be? Like when you say a position, as far as what?
Like, unfortunately women are, I can't say that's not something that happens in our relationship, but you've had women out there that address men in a way that they shouldn't. You know, like they want to be up in a man's face telling, oh yeah, this, and that, when it should be the man doing that. Right. And now when the man steps up to do it, you're beefing like, oh, you didn't go over there and do that, but it should never been your issue, right? Two, I mean, protecting your household is any man, and I'm gonna say this, any man not protecting their household is an issue.
Right.
What was the other one you said?
A provider, a protector, and the head of the household. So
now, head of the household we have to fall back to this. What do you consider head of the household? Because if you want a man to be the head of the household, then you're not considering yourself a modern day woman. Because if you want a man to be the head of the household, that means you need to fall back. And modern women don't want to do that because y'all want to be in control. So you can't complain that a man is not the head of the household if you're calling yourself the modern day woman. Because now you put that role on you, not the man.
That makes sense. We put the role on ourselves and we take the responsibility in doing that. But what I keep going back to is that the reason that we're doing that is because you are lacking in something. No, you guys are not doing something. And then the problem is you think that you're doing something?
Explain to me, when you're saying a guy is lacking in something, if he's providing, if he's protecting, and his only thing he's not doing is being the head of the household. And I hate this, and unfortunately, I'm gonna say this: head of the household, and I'm always say, when it comes to the head of the house, yes, the man should always we all should be the decision. But in order for a household to work consistently, it should always be a conversation between both people. Because in a relationship, yes, the man's gonna stand out. The man should be the one. If we looking at old school shit, right? In the old school, the man should be the one saying, hey, this is what the decision is, right?
Okay.
But like in here, if I say, hey, look, there's nothing wrong with coming and sitting down and you say, hey, this is what I'm thinking.
Okay.
And vice versa. But and in any relationship, if we're all good at the same thing, then who's good at what we're not good at?
Say that again.
If we're all good, and if you got two people who come together, if you're both good at the same things, who's good at the things you're not good at?
Okay, I get it. So, all right, everybody is good in their own way, right? That's what they bring. What they bring to the table. Okay, I understand that. But it doesn't change the fact that I still feel what I said. Yeah, right. Like, because there are some guys out here that are not handling their business. Right. They're allowing the woman is thinking everything through. They're not being reasoning when it comes to certain things. And then again, they turn around and they look at the woman and say, you need to chill. You need to relax. You're too aggressive. You're too controlling. You're too this. You're too that. And again, and I keep saying it, women don't want to have to be that. Believe me, they want to freaking relax. I want to get to some of these comments.
Let me get, because I'm gonna say, let me say something real quick. You're exactly right. In a sense that if you don't want to be that, then you have to fall back. Because
we can't. Okay,
you can't, because you put in. You're saying, you know what?
Fall back.
You can.
We wanna,
because you know what? If you're getting everything you're supposed to, you know how I'm gonna say this in any relationship. If you want change in it, then you change the person if they're not.
Say that again.
If you want change in your relationship, if you want change that you're not getting in a relationship, and you feel like, oh, that's all men, then that's a problem, because you keep picking the same man.
Okay, that's understandable, and I agree with that. I said that actually earlier. But what about the one guy that they that the man that they chose, that's their husband, and maybe they're not doing certain shit, and that's what I'm saying. It's becoming a repetitive thing. It's a repetitive thing.
But it's not. It doesn't make. If let's say this, what if a man started telling y'all what made y'all less of a woman?
I feel that men do feel like that. If a woman, men base that a lot of stuff off of sex.
No,
okay, if a woman is not having sex on a regular basis, the guy it wouldn't be mad.
What guy you hear that from?
All of you men.
I don't know what men you
The guy would be mad. Y'all expect us to be ready and let's talk about the sex for a minute. And Cal Cutter, I'm gonna get to you and then I'm gonna get to your comments. Women, and women can't stand this. I hear a lot of women complain, right, about, and I'm talking, this is women all over. I hear it on the internet all over. Men will not do certain things to stimulate the woman's mind to even want to make her have sex. I mean, you got to make her do something up here first before it get wet down there. You know, y'all just want to boom, boom, boom. You think that shit is going to pop off just like that, and you're not even stimulating her mind. And don't you understand that it takes the attraction of a woman to even want to have sex with a man? It takes so much more than just, you think that you just a pair just because y'all could just boom, get hard and be ready to go and go in. Women is more than that. We're emotional beings. You got to stimulate us here, okay? And then you got to put in work. And if a woman is not doing that, a guy will be upset. They don't understand all of the stuff that it takes for, you know.
That I have the, you know what? Because it's the same way. Y'all actually, you just said it like men, like all men is like men don't, that's all, we can't be turned off by y'all either.
You can.
It is.
You can.
But see, if a man is turned off by a woman, the first thing y'all think is something wrong with him instead of asking what's wrong with you. The same way.
I don't know about all that. I disagree with that.
The same way y'all can say, look, y'all not stimulating me. Stimulation is a two-way street in any relationship.
I agree.
Anyway,
I agree.
And then that's the issue. Once again, when we talk about sex and y'all go, oh, y'all think all men look at a porno and go, oh, that's what I want my wife to be. That's not true.
It's not.
Stimulation. That's why we go to strip clubs.
So you go to strip clubs now. See what I'm saying?
No, stimulation in any relationship, stimulation is a two-way street. You can't have stimulation one way.
I'm not denying that. I'm not denying that.
You cannot say that it's that's how men think. Because to be stimulated first, you have to be stimulated yourself. A man can't stimulate you if you're not ready to be stimulated.
But what I'm trying to tell you is it takes. I hear where you're coming from, but what I'm saying is this: there's a lot of guys out there that just expect women to just be ready, willing, and ready and able, ready to go when they're not even taking the time to caress, no foreplay, no mental stimulation, and nothing, and think that the woman is just going to be ready to go. Like, nah, it's not happening like that. Y'all watch these pornos and y'all get this false sense just because you see the girl like, oh yeah, that like, yo, this is not real life, B. It's not happening like that. You got to do something. Like, let's get to these comments real quick because I want to talk about Kyle Cutter real quick, and then we're going to go in. He said, and we're going back, guys, a little bit, okay? He said, I think the best gift a man could ever give a woman is the gift of showing his emotions, in my opinion. Ask us how we feel, how was our day. And I do, yes, I totally agree with you, Kyle Cutter. Well, I think it goes both ways. Absolutely.
But women sometimes ask for a man to tell them how they feel, and then they're not happy when we're telling y'all the truth about how we feel.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, you do.
I don't know about that. I don't know about that.
Y'all do. As soon as a man starts to tell you how he, especially, and I'm not going to say when it's good, because women are never complaining when a man's telling them how good they are, and it's vice versa. But when a man's emotionally telling you how he feels is what's wrong, women can't handle it. The modern day woman is mad because he's telling perfection is something wrong with it.
Okay, if that's how you see it, I guess. I don't know. Listen, Cal Cutter, he got a question for me. I mean, Cal, not Cal, I'm sorry. Al Mosley. Al Mosley said, Ms., what are you doing for the other modern day woman? The child support hustler, the drug seller, the cheater, the cheater more and better than men?
The welfare hustling one.
The welfare hustling one. The material one. All right, let me address that. Al Mosley. Okay, listen. Let's be frank here. I don't know if that woman falls into what the modern day woman is, because the modern day woman is more of the go-getter type of woman that's out there doing her thing. Because see, this right here. The child
support hustle is a go-getter. She's hustling. The drug selling is a go-getter. The cheating is only if she's getting paid for it, she's go-getting. At the welfare hustling, that is a
those are two different type of women in my that woman is a hustler. She's trying to find all of the easy freaking ways out. The other woman know how to go get it. Okay, so nah.
You know why? Because Calcutta helped address an issue.
Wait, that's Al Mosley. That's Al Mosley.
Al Mosley, thank you, because Al Mosley helped address an issue. See, now modern day women could separate themselves from all the negativity when they see women doing exactly what they believe a modern day woman shouldn't be. But when a man says, "Hey, that's not all of us. This is separated. Y'all can't see it." See, that's the issue. He helped bring out an issue there. You just said a hustler to go get it. That's
open the phone lines. Open the phone lines. Listen, guys, if you want to call in and get in on this conversation, we're gonna open it up. If y'all don't, we're gonna keep it going and say how we feel. I'm gonna tell you right now, Al Mosley, for me, let's see, what you got to understand is well, I wanted to go through it. What you got to understand, Al Mosley, is this. When it comes to the modern day woman, to me, that's not the modern day woman. That is a hustler, is somebody that's just trying to get over. The modern day woman know how to go get it. She know how to go getting it in that way, because men could do that too. You think that men is not out there trying to get child support, spousal support, and all of that stuff? Look at Wendy Williams. Look at Halle Berry. Look at all of these people these women that are out there that build an empire, and there's men over there that's trying to get their freaking money. So
do they rightly deserve it?
Hell no, they don't. Why not? How do you figure? Freaking Wendy Williams' husband leached off of her the whole fucking time. And he was cheating on her the whole damn time while she was building a freaking empire. A modern day woman building an empire, and here comes this leech. Okay. It goes a two-way street, right? He was in a relationship before she got famous, right? Before all her money came in, right? Unfortunately, it happens to men all the time. Where women, would we call that woman a leech? If she comes into a relationship with a man who's already rich, she is.
He marries him for 2 months, and she goes up, I want half.
She is a leech. Women are leech too.
She's a modern day woman.
You said hoe. I heard the slip out. You was like, she's a hoe. Did y'all hear her?
No, she's a modern day woman. She's a hustler. She hustled. Just like what we can't call a modern day woman a hustler and then look at a hustler and go, up, she's not modern day.
I don't know. Listen,
she hustled, and unfortunately, my man fell for it.
Listen, I want to get to tell
fall for that all the time.
Guys, you guys can call in if you want. The phone lines are open. 845-800-9095. Town Mama made such a great point here. She said, "Why do we have to have a head of household? It's a shared responsibility." Oh, I got it. I do agree with that, Town Mama. So it kind of like really, I guess me agreeing is contradicting. Who's? So what do I?
Yep.
This?
Yep.
Okay. All right, guys, we're going to open up the phone lines real quick. Caller, can you hear me?
Yes.
All right. Wait, hold on. Hold on 1 second. We got to put you on through the thing. Try it again.
Should have went through, but
all right, caller, can you hear us?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay, guys, can you hear the caller on the phone? Because I hear through here, but I don't hear it through there. Sorry about that. Give us 1 second. He's getting the phone lines. But while he's doing that, Tell Mama, let me address that. I think that's such a great point that you made about the shared responsibilities as far as the head of household, because I'll let you know if I hear it in there. If not, then you're gonna have to just put it towards the mic. The shared household and the shared responsibility. I didn't make that up, right? That's on the damn taxes. Like, you do your taxes, they're gonna put head of household, and that'll be who it is, whoever's the head of household. But at the end of the day, when we look at it, I agree, it's a shared responsibility, but I just still feel that the men should lead. That's why I think it should be a head of household. I have an old school mentality way of thinking, so that's just what I think. Caller, state your name and where you calling from.
Yo, what's up? It's your boy Calcutta.
Oh, Calcutta. Okay, big shout out to Calcutta on the check-in. How you doing?
Doing all right. Glad you're feeling better. What's up, Ray?
Yes,
what's up, Cal?
Thank you. So talk to us about this.
I just want to say, when a queen stands by his king, that'll make the king do more. He'll push more, make him want to be more.
Okay. Okay. I
Yep,
agree
I
with
agree
that.
with that. Yep.
I 100% agree with that.
That was all.
Well, let me ask you before you go. That's a great point. Calcutta, let me ask you this. Do you think enough women are being queens out there and standing by their men? Or do you think the modern day women don't know how to do that?
Well, it's like a compromise. You know what I'm saying? It has to be 50-50. I know if the men was properly leading, they'll follow.
Properly leading. I'm glad you said that. Do you feel that men are properly leading?
What they're supposed to do and leading the way they're supposed to lead, then you're gonna follow. You're not gonna walk. You're not gonna follow somebody into the woods if they don't know where they're going.
Absolutely. And I just
opinion.
no.
Yeah, I totally agree. But now when we say leading, right, and when you want somebody to lead, you got to also understand that we can't lump all men into one issue because one woman's man ain't leading. And that's my issue there.
Leading means physically, spiritually, mentally. You know, it's all that stuff. It's all on one accord. You have to be, you know, it's like Zen. It's like it's like a balance, but you also gotta, you know, you just gotta do it. You just gotta be a leader. You have to have all those things in a nutshell.
That's what I'm talking about. And I agree. And that's what I'm saying.
So if you have somebody that's spiritually, physically, emotionally, mentally, all that stuff leading, yeah, no problem. Following.
Yep. I don't disagree.
You know, and it's like men are taught to be strong and holding their emotion. So like I said before, if we show you our emotion, you just can't push it to the side. You got to be able to listen.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? If you want us to listen to you, you got to listen to us.
I agree. Absolutely. No, it's a great opinion. No.
It is, because exactly what's happening with the modern day women is they want men to lead, and when we're trying to lead, they're not listening, and then when we're not leading, they're mad that you're not leading.
I tell both of my daughters, you're the helper and not the leader. You know, I mean, if he can't lead you, then that's not the one for you.
There you go. There you go.
If he can't lead you, that's not the one for you.
There you go. Bow. I like that. Okay, that dropped the bomb on him with that one. If he can't lead you, he is not the one for you. Okay. Yeah. I agree.
Because you can do, like the movie said, you can do bad on your own.
Yep.
But that's just my opinion.
No, it's a great point.
Yeah, good one.
Well, thanks, Calcutta. Thanks for calling in and sharing that with us. Thank you so much. All right. Take care. Later. All right, guys. That was Calcutta that called in. He made a very, very, very great point, and I agree with all of that. Lady Z, she said, your woman is supposed to be stimulating you only, not you being stimulated through porn. Not you, what?
But you know what I mean.
Oh, not you. Oh, but you know what I mean. Okay, my bad. I mean, I'm gonna be honest. All right, I don't have a problem with porn. Okay, look, listen.
It's a $1 billion industry for no reason.
I don't have a problem with porn. I don't care if he watches. Sometimes I watch the shit. What you talking about? You know what I'm saying? They be getting it in. Who don't want to learn some new moves? Just saying. But I'm just saying, guys, listen, at the end of the day, but yes, I agree with you, Lady Z, that people should definitely be stimulated by the person that they're with, and you got to know how to do that, which means switch it up. Don't be the same all the time. I think people get comfortable. Like, my thing is, and that's the problem. Men get comfortable. You guys cannot be too comfortable. Y'all look at us like we have to do all of these things: hair done, nails done, body. Y'all want the titties. Y'all want the butt. Y'all want the nice outfit. Y'all want us to be submissive. Y'all got a lot of things with y'all too. Y'all want all this stuff, and then here y'all will show up just however, and just think that that's okay, as if we don't want to see all of that stuff too to be turned on. So it goes both ways when it comes to that as well.
Not all men.
What do you mean?
Once again, y'all thought it, and I think Al Mosley made a point. Y'all modern day women mix up boy attitude with men attitude.
Modern day women mix up boy attitude with men attitude.
Yeah, y'all mix it up. Y'all what y'all see in boys, and y'all think, oh, this is y'all blame all men for the attitude of boys. Yes.
I don't feel that we do that.
Yeah, you do.
I disagree.
Okay.
Modern women use sex and sex appeal to get what she want, not clean house or cook. I disagree with that, Al Mosley. Okay, let me tell you why. First and foremost, I'm a modern day. I consider myself a modern day woman, right? But I'm a neat freak and I clean. Okay, I do not play. I don't cook all the time, right? But I cook sometimes, and we share cooking in the house and also with our kids, mainly my daughter. Our son, you see, he acting with a hot meal.
That's going to get corrected.
Okay, but overall, I do believe that modern day women, some of them do use sex appeal. I want to tell you guys, without actually putting the person's business out there, I won't mention their name. I had a conversation with a guy who said that he practiced, what is it, abstinence?
Abstinence?
Yes. Yeah. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Right? And this guy said that he does not allow the woman to manipulate him mentally by the attraction of her ass or her boobs and none of that stuff. And men, and even though this is slightly off topic, but I found it to be extremely interesting because most men, that's exactly what they look for. And most women know that that is exactly how they gain the attention of the men. So it starts with the physical part first. And this is why a lot of people don't find the right one for them, because they're using their bodies. And this is why people are buying the fake butts and the fake tits and the fake all of that. They're using all of these things to get the man's attention. And then when they got the man's attention, then the man realized that he's dealing with a woman who ain't right up here. Okay, a woman who ain't really got it all together, who ain't got shit together, and she's kind of messed up. And but you didn't, you let that attraction will you in, and most men get willed in from that.
Yeah, you know what? Unfortunately, and when we complaining about what's wrong with the community, that's exactly what it is. Everybody's going for the wrong thing. It's like, oh, like just like the women with the fake butts and the fake breasts to get the man's using fake income.
Well, that's very true. That is very true. That is true. But you know, you guys like to flash your money to show the women that you got it like that. Y'all use the same thing, a different technique to get the woman's attention.
Yeah, I'm not saying it's not happening, but that's what's wrong. You expecting to get a great relationship out of that?
No, I didn't say that.
No, I'm just saying. I'm can't expect greatness out of that.
Well, I don't know.
If everything is fake about the relationship, then how is the relationship real?
Well, what do you mean if everything is fake about the relationship?
If the man is going at the woman for the idea of just what her body looks like, and the woman is going at the man for the idea of what his income is, that's not real. There's nothing about that real. The only real thing about that is the money and the body, but everything else is not real.
But you guys, listen. Well, first of all, y'all do a lot of fake stuff too.
I said that. Okay? I never said we did.
And that's another. The modern day men, y'all are wearing fake stuff. Also, so men are putting on fake beards. They're doing fake hair. They're doing fake stuff.
That's boy stuff because men ain't doing that. I'm not. If you ain't,
men are
you see
doing
this is all real. The men growing this stuff. Anybody who's doing that, that's just for the exact same reason that women are doing their body. It's the appeal, not the mind.
Right. Okay. I agree. So, okay, Al Mosley said to me, I like his comments because he be coming for me. I'll be coming for me. He said, so Miz, if you have the old school mentality, he's asking, how do I consider myself the modern day woman? Well, let me explain that because I'm talking within actions. So what I expect from a man and what I expect is an old school way of thinking. Okay. That's when I say like going back to how I think as far as old school. That's why I think the way that I do, because I feel like yo, the man should do this, the man should do that, the man should be the leader, blah, blah, blah. And if I have to do it, I'm not happy with it. Now, when I talk about, I consider myself a modern day woman, I consider myself that based off of the other things I do. Like, I'm the hustler, I'm the one, I get out there, I do things. I'm always looking to build and do stuff and create things and things like that. So that's what I consider the modern day woman, is just the person out there that's working on building an empire. That is the difference. That's how I feel like I fall into both categories, if that makes sense.
And we're to say that men aren't out here building empires?
No, I never said that. I never said that men are not out here building empires.
Saying, you know, because when we're saying that the men ain't holding up to their job to the modern day women, then what would that be? Should we be, if we're building an empire just like you, but what are we doing wrong? And this is where communication comes in. Because what is a man doing wrong if he's building and doing the same thing y'all doing together?
I didn't say that. What do you mean? What is the man doing wrong?
Right, because you're saying that the men are weak because because the women seem to be doing more of the job than the men, right?
In some cases, in some places, yes. Not all.
Exactly. But then if men are doing some things more than the women, does that make you weak?
No, it doesn't, because y'all supposed to be the strong ones anyway.
For example, I cook, right? That doesn't take nothing away from you because I cook.
No, but I will tell you this.
But if you took out the garbage, it would be something wrong with me, right? So that's the issue.
But let me tell you. I know that I'm working, right? I work and I do a lot of stuff, right? So you're retired, right? You're home more. So, but the thing is, I do feel like when you are cooking, you are doing my job. I'm gonna keep it 100 with you. I do. You understand what I'm saying? I'll be like, oh, he's doing my job. You know what I mean? So, and it doesn't, and listen, my daughter hates that. She'd be like, nah, like everybody's equal. Kind of basically what Al Mosley is saying. I don't agree in lead. We are equal partners. I think that we're equal partners to a certain extent. I'm telling you, the reason why households are unbalanced is because of the way that, honestly, modern women is a part of that problem too. Okay. So an unbalanced household to me is not understanding your place in a relationship. And I feel that at the end of the day, I want to be the laid back. I want to do all of that stuff, but I feel that the man should be the more aggressor. I don't think it should be me.
But like I said, if you don't want it to be you, then you got to learn how to relinquish control. And unfortunately, the modern day women do not know how to relinquish control if you want somebody to be in control. And it's always going to go back to that. If you cannot say, hey, you got it without putting your 2 cents in, then that's your fault. That is your fault that your hands is full.
Well, I don't know. Al Mosley said, we watch porn to lead. He dropping the rock. Yo, you watch porn to lead? Okay. All right. Well, women watch porn too. So it ain't say because guess what? You can't do it by yourself. And listen, who's up in the porn? It takes a woman to be there. There you go. There
you go. Now see, he just said we watch porn to lead. You said women watch porn for the. I'm assuming for the same thing. So if you want,
no, I didn't say for the same thing. Oh, okay. That's not what I didn't say.
That's why I use the word I assume.
Okay, yeah, see, don't assume. See,
with that modern day listening.
So Cal Cutter said that 2 people can't lead. I agree. 2 people can't lead. 2 people cannot lead. But let's go to this and we're gonna close out. Guys, I wanted Ray to come on because I wanted y'all to see that he is a talker. Normally when we do from the ground up, I'm trying to get him to talk more. But I think that it takes these type of topics because a lot of times when we're interviewing people, right, it's more about the person that's on the show, on from the ground up. But on Talk Therapy, I think I'm gonna bring him on a little bit more with these type of conversations so that we could get a man's point of view and we could get him in here talking more. Because believe me, he be talking a lot of shit behind the scenes. Y'all just don't know. I said, pull up to the show and show him what you got. Okay. But listen, let me just say this. Is marriage, guys, do you guys think that marriage is a business deal? I know some people, listen, I know some people that don't believe in marriage because they think that it's just a business deal. Now, I was in, if you guys got the Oculus, add me on there. I'll be up in them rooms. Yes, I do. Or get the Oculus and download an app called Big Screen. Let me tell you something. I'll be in there talking to people from all over the world. You create your avatar, and when you in there, you somewhere else. I hate to go off topic, but I got to tell y'all that. And when we were in there, people were talking. This was a conversation about marriage and saying that they were saying marriage is just a business deal, and they didn't feel that people should get married because it's just business and it's too much expectations when it comes to marriage. How do you feel about that?
I don't think it's a business deal unless that's what it was. Now, unfortunately, it's only a business deal, and I'll say when it came, like I said before, when a person goes into it only for the money. Like if it's only with that person because of a financial status, that's a business deal. Honestly, marriage is just that. It's a financial. It's not it's a personal agreement of trust that y'all both put on paper. That's all it is. That's why you gotta get, that when you're standing in front of all that extra stuff where you got to go get a license and all of that, that's the business of it.
Okay.
But to me, that's not. If you don't love the person, then you shouldn't be doing it. Absolutely.
And I think that's a problem. Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
But that doesn't mean that you can't love somebody and not get married. You got to be married. It's an individual choice. Okay. Some people get married and it ruins the relationship.
That's true. I agree. Divorce. When we talk about divorce, right? Well, first, let me just say this. Tell Mama said, some men don't get it. Many women are good at letting their man think they're in control, but she had control all along.
I'm okay with that. You let me think I'm in control as long as you do.
That's right, K-Swiss, baby. You already know.
I'm okay with that because I'm gonna tell you now, peace is the mother, yo. I'm gonna tell you now.
I agree.
If you let me think I'm in control, and you think that it's okay with if you're in control, but you let me think I'm in control, I don't give a damn as long as I'm peaceful.
Hey, what's that saying? Happy wife, happy life.
No, that's the wrong attitude. What happened to happy spouse, happy house?
I like that. Oh, where you get that from?
Yeah, it's all over the internet. See,
I like that.
That's the problem.
I like that.
When you're thinking that way, you're only thinking about yourself.
You know what? Absolutely. I actually like that, and I'm switching over to that. See, I can learn, and I can make changes and adjustments. Al, I know you're not feeling me right now. I never said that I was perfect, okay? I never said that. I know that I'm a control freak. I know that I need to understand and fall back and lead, but I explain why, for me, why I have issues doing that sometimes. I know that I could do better and be better, and I'm willing, change is okay. I'm willing to make adjustments and to make changes.
I got a question for you.
And
when I lead and you see that I could do the job, doesn't it make it easier for you?
Yes, but
how many times do I tell you, yo, just fall back?
You tell me that all the time, and I don't like it.
Exactly. And sometimes I don't want to be told what to do because I know what to do. And
I know you do.
And the crazy part about it is when you start telling me what to do, it's like, fuck it. If you want to do it, then do it yourself.
Well, the thing is, sometimes you might not be doing it right.
Yeah, but it might be the way that I know how to do it as long as it works. Right.
That is true. You know what? Right. Because what's that? 2 + 2
is 4.
Right.
3 + 1 is 4 also.
Exactly. So you could get to 4 more than one way.
If we both could get to the same objective, then it's.
I have to admit that I do have to learn how to fall back more and allow you to do what you do. I have an issue with that. And that's something that I have to work on. We all got to work on things. You know what I mean? But I did want to say, and thank you, Katrina. Thank you for, wait, what was it? Mitch, you can't sit back. Very good topic. I appreciate it. What was I going to say? What was I about to say? I'm so sorry.
Oh, yeah. There you go. I was supposed to know what's in your head.
See? No, but I was saying something, but he wasn't paying attention, obviously, or he will be able to help me, right? Because men don't pay attention. But listen, divorce. Do you think that the divorce rate is high because of the modern day woman's mindset?
No. I think divorce rate is high because of lack of communication.
Lack of communication.
Yep.
Okay.
The reason being is because communication is not. We all come into a relationship. We all did it. I did it. You did it. We come into the relationship with our representative. From the beginning, we're not being honest. There's no.
Why y'all lying?
We all do it. Everybody does it. We all come with our representative, and then the real comes out with time.
Mm-hmm.
So with that, in that time, we have to learn to adjust to each other. But a lot of time in that adjustment, there's no communication.
I don't know. Is there any way to fix that?
Nope.
No? Okay, I'll just go from here. Okay.
And
all right. Understood.
When you're not communicating, that's what causes divorce.
Right.
And then sometimes it's outside people, everybody coming in, because once again, it's people. Everybody looks at TV and expect TV to be what our ideal relationship should look like. I'm gonna tell you like this. I always say this: if you're not getting on my nerves, if I'm not getting on your nerves, somebody else is.
What do you mean by that? Well,
if I'm not getting on your nerves, something's wrong.
Oh, okay.
Something got to be wrong because I'm doing something. Either you're no longer paying attention to me that you even care that I'm not getting on your nerves, and vice versa.
Okay.
In order for somebody to understand and get it, we have to. If there's no disagreement, how do you know what's wrong?
Right.
But you got to learn how to disagree. With the
communication is key.
Mm-hmm.
I think that people have to learn, and we're going to close out, guys. And we want to thank you guys for tuning in. Like I said,
man, that's fucked up, Town Mama.
What? What's he just cut me off.
I'm sorry.
We want to thank you guys for tuning in to Talk Therapy Tuesdays with Lady Miz, and my guest today is Ray. I'm going to be bringing him back on and having these conversations more often. And I want to talk about other stuff too, because I want to get into mental health, especially for Black men. I want to talk about the mental health for people dealing with death and dealing with COVID. So I want to touch on a lot of topics, but I don't want to make it where it's uncomfortable for people in a sense, because some of these topics can be very touchy, but I do want to make sure that we start to really get into the therapy part of things. And regardless of the fact, whether you disagree with me, agree with me, disagree with Ray or whatever, we all have to learn eventually how to be better. We have to learn how to change. We have to learn how to not put so much high expectations on other people, and know that we're not perfect ourselves. We have to know how to make changes to make our relationships work so that divorce is not such a high rate. Tell Mama said I got divorced 6 days before my 40th wedding anniversary. That's crazy. I love you too, Al Mosley. Big shout out to Al. Thank you. And thank you, Cal Cutter. He said yes. Great show, Double R rocked it. You know what I'm saying? Yes, he did.
Now, I got a question for Town Mama. Was that something purposely done, or because 6 days sound like planning?
That's a Town Mama is probably gonna take a minute before because I know it's on a little delay. But if you want to answer that question, and then we're gonna start to get up out of here. But you got any parting words? Any advice? Any advice?
I think I said it all throughout this thing. And as much as we would like to say the modern day woman is the reason for all or the weak man is the reason for messed up relationships, I would say that it's not either one. It's communication.
Okay.
And people got to learn how to adjust to each other. If you want to be in a relationship, that if you're going to be together with each other, it has to be communication and adjustment. We all made it. I made some with you. You've made some with me. That's how relationships work. If nobody's willing to do that, then you're in the wrong place. You're in the wrong relationship.
Yes.
And I'm going to say this from my experience. And I think this is when I decided, like when me and you decided to get married, I knew before that, I wasn't willing to bend at all. So now I understand with with learning that sometimes you got to bend a little bit.
Right. Right.
You know? And I mean, if you want to be with somebody, you got to adjust and bend, and vice versa.
I agree. One thing that I would say, and this is for myself and for anybody listening and watching, we have to go back to respecting relationships. We have to understand and know how to bend, like you said. I know when we got married, I didn't really know how to be a wife or what that meant. It took me a long time to understand. And getting married, it takes a lot of giving of yourself, a lot of compromising certain things, and a lot of what's the word I'm looking for? Sacrifices.
Yep.
A lot of sacrificing and selflessness. You understand what I'm saying? You have to really know. I did not understand what none of that meant in the beginning, and I'm still learning. So what we have to learn how to do when it comes to relationships, marriages, modern day woman and a modern day man, we have to learn how to, one, communicate, respect the person that you're with, be willing to listen and take accountability when you are wrong. A lot of people don't know how to do that. And that is an issue. And a lot of people love to place the blame and point at the other person as if they're the issue. And a lot of times, sometimes we even seek in counseling. Counseling is great. There's nothing wrong with it. But counselors, when you go to a counselor, because we've been in counseling before, and what they really want you to do is talk to each other. Yep. And learn how to communicate. And you can do that at home. A lot of times we don't. We get into a fighting match, a screaming match, and I'm just speaking for everybody, us, and I'm sure you guys been through it, right? We speak and we go back and forth and we argue, but at the end of the day, no one is listening. And that's the problem. Yep. You're not listening because you just want to be heard.
And I'm gonna tell you, and I always say this: two people yelling, nobody hearing anything.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, go ahead.
No, I lost my train of thought, but I was gonna say something. Oh yeah, when it comes to and I said it before, when a relationship, if nobody is willing to, I know what I was. I'm gonna touch on this. Mm-hmm. You said when you got married, you wasn't ready to you didn't know what it was to be a wife.
Right.
But we have to understand something. When we were in a relationship before we got married, you was already being a wife, just like I was being a husband.
I don't know. No, yeah, I disagree with that.
Yeah, we were doing all the wifey things, all the husband things that we were supposed to do. We were already investing in each other. We were already.
Yeah, but I'm talking about something different. Let me tell you what I'm talking about. See, they just said Whoopi Goldberg got suspended from The View for something. I'm sorry. I'll get to that because this is the Talk Therapy Show. All right, Whoopi. No, so listen. When I say not understanding and not knowing how to be a wife, I didn't know how to be a wife. I didn't know. I still had the mindset of me, I, instead of us. There were some things that I was afraid to do together with you, because I was so used to having it might be, I don't know if you would call it the modern day mindset of making sure that I got that, and I kind of still think women should have it, though. I ain't gonna lie, that kind of extra safety net in case things don't work out, and if things go wrong. It was like you're planning for that rainy day. It might not work, so it's about me, and all of my stuff separate. I didn't know that putting things together. I was afraid to do that, right? So I still was going into this thinking about you and I instead of us, and that was affecting the way that I was being a wife. That's what I'm saying. Oh, okay. So it didn't matter that, not saying it didn't matter, like we were together, we were doing all of the other things, but my way of thinking, I didn't have a wife mentality.
Okay, because
that's the best way to put it.
I'm gonna say this: in any marriage, if you're already planning and putting aside for what you think is gonna happen, the relationship already failed.
Right. And that's another problem. We plan for failure. And marriages, if you're going to get married, it should last. Sometimes we get divorced over things that could have been worked out. You know what I mean? And some things, some people divorces should happen, right? Some divorces should definitely happen, but not all of them need to happen. So let's close out. I want to thank you so much for coming on, and I'm glad that you guys got to see Ray doing some talking. Before we go, I do want to we don't have the others. What do we have up here for promo?
As far as what?
What
No.
What?
Yeah.
Oh, this? Oh, I'm sorry. I just want to remind you guys that I talk about the compilation album. Please look out for that. It's called Family Business. That will be coming out February 18th. And I will be selling, just like you could go to like a Costco or BJ's and you could get potato chips at like a 24 pack. I'm going to be pre-selling my chips. So guys, look out for that. If you want to order some, support your girl. Okay. And I'm going to also be letting y'all know how you can get your face on the potato chip bag. Boss Move chips will be coming soon. When I say coming soon, it's already there. It's just that I have to get it physically in the stores, and that's what I'm working on now. So it's really been me that's been kind of like holding up, because with everything happening, the pandemic, I've been wondering, is it a smart thing to do it now? I've been kind of like moving slow on it, but I'm just about to take this quantum leap and just go ahead and get this stuff out there. So I'm going to be doing the pre-orders. So guys, look out for that. Understand, again, Family Business, February 18th. That album is going to be dope. We're going to be doing a release album party on our podcast on From the Ground Up Productions with the artists. We're going to be playing the music. Y'all going to hear some lovely R&B and some hip hop. King Charlie Prince is one of the producers on there. We got I've had Demo Wed that engineered for us. We got some amazing people and amazing artists, guys. I cannot wait for y'all to hear some great stuff. Especially,
listening to our kids. It feels funny hearing our kids do it, but they did a damn good job. This album has a feel that everybody will like. It's not just one of those albums where it's like the same thing all the way through. It's a vibe through the whole thing.
Absolutely. A whole vibe. And it ain't no like bad music either, like bad hip hop, blah, blah. And I hate to say it like that. It's not on that level. It's really like your parents can listen to it, your kids can listen to it, your family can listen to it. You might got a couple of curses here and there, but it's nothing crazy. But I'm telling y'all, this album of Family Business is so dope, and I can't wait for y'all to hear it. So again, I want to thank y'all for tuning in. I apologize, and I hope I didn't offend anybody, but I just hope that you understand and respect me. And if I didn't say something that was right, then that just means that there's more room for me to grow. Okay. Again, make sure that y'all, if you haven't already, hit the notification button. And if you haven't subscribed to our YouTube channel, and if you have Roku, add us to your TV list. From the Ground Up Productions TV. We are there, baby. And we will see you next week, Monday. Yep. All right.
We have Monday.
We have I think we have Mr. Phil and Natasha. Yes, Mr. Phil, he was on what's that show? Oh God. Jimmy Kimball, I think, and all of them. Yeah, this guy is an amazing guy. So, and definitely bringing a lot of diversity to the show. I think it's so important because I'm missing out on so many great people in all different genres of music and all this so amazing people all over. So we definitely going to be shaking and baking and doing things different. So look out for that, guys. We love y'all so much. Thank y'all for tuning in to Talk Therapy Tuesdays. Thank you, Ray, for coming on. Are you going to come back?
Yep.
All right.
I know I'm up in the air right now.
Snap. Okay. Whatever. All right, guys. So listen, thank y'all for tuning in to Talk Therapy. We'll see y'all next week. Peace.
We hope you enjoyed your time with Lady Miz on Talk Therapy. We'll see you next time. Be sure to add our channel to your Roku list and listen to us on all streaming platforms.
only one way to go from here.